Good morning. Good morning. Hello, everybody. How are we on this lovely, sunny, but slightly windy Friday morning? How are we all today? How are we all doing? I think today is a lovely day. I had a nice cup of coffee sour in the garden with Savannah in the garden on the table, and it was a lovely start to the day. I did the school run, and then we're back and we're ready to get crafty and creative. So let's give everybody a little moment just to come and join us, and then we can get going with the lovely project for today. I have got some lovely, sparkly, fun projects. Today's a little bit of a kind of a mix and match. We'll go over it all again in a moment. I'll just give everyone a little moment to come and jump on and join us. Right, so I'm just seeing what we've got, getting my stuff together. I'm waiting for everyone to come and say hello. It's just not playing the game today. I made that mistake of going to sleep with it just a little tiny bit damp. And it doesn't matter what you try and do to sort it, it just looks fuzzy. So anyway, that's my issues for the day. Good morning, Jan. Jan says, good morning, Laura, and everyone from a sunny Sudbury. Good morning, Rachel from a wet barrow. Oh, you got the rain. We did have rain last night, and pretty much all day yesterday it was on and off, but much needed. Good morning, Mina. Good morning, says good morning, everyone. And good morning, everyone from Elaine. Well, good morning. It's lovely to see you all here. Lovely to have you joining us today. Right, okay, so I'm going to give everyone that little moment just to come and join me. And then we can get going with our lovely day. Good morning, Anastasia. Peace and love to everybody. Lovely to see you, 505. Did I tell you, your dedication just blows my mind. My face is I just caught the sun a little bit, so I'm just looking a little bit flush. I'm just going to hide that. Okie dokie. So today we have got some lovely, sparkly, kind of put it together kits, okay? So we've got some Rivolis. I think that I'm saying that correctly. Rivolis, and then we've got some settings for them, some design ideas, some elastic. Mina says it's a lot cooler in Leicester today. It's the sun's coming back out around here, and we've given out a weather warning. The school's given out a weather warning to allow the children to wear shorts on Monday. Only the school shorts, mind, unless they are tailored, but they can wear shorts, so they think it's going to be hot. Hi, Virginia. Hi, Heather. Heather says, good morning, Laura and everyone. Virginia, good morning, beaders and everybody. It's lovely to see you all. Okay, so I'm going to let you see what we're going to be doing today. We've got some fun stretchy bracelets that have been set with the Rivolis, and these are just a bit of fun. Put them together, create your own design. We've got a bit of mix and matching, dropped it then, going on. We've also got some earring setting options, which I am in love with. I will show these properly in a moment, but we have all of these lovely designs. So I am going to go ahead, switch the camera, and then give you an idea of what we've got. I will say we've got some offers on today. So what I'm going to do, I'm just wondering whether I might take that off for today. So I don't think we will need it. So let's just get this nice and ready for you so you can see before I bring you onto this one just here. So yeah, I'm just going to get a couple of each out so you can see. I just adore these. These are so pretty, so sparkly. Rivolis in lots of different fun, fantastic colours. Good morning, Camille. How are you? Let's get mixing some colours up. Get some red in here. I'm about to show you the lovely projects that we've got today and go through the design potential. So what we've got today are we're basically giving you the components to be able to put these together. There we go. Let's bring this down. I'm going to switch my camera over for you. So I'm bringing in the microphone, rabbit ears, and let's have a little look. So let's put this camera on, and switch them around. Okay, so the projects we're looking at today are these gorgeous Rivolis that we are going to set however you want to. We've got a couple of options. You can set them in these pre-made earring findings, which are so simple and easy to do. Now, I don't have a sample of these, but you'll get the idea. It's the same as how you would set them into these, just it would already be set into an earring setting. Now, you see the difference on the earring settings is that they're kind of little fold over prongs. They are fold over prongs on the kind of sort of singular setting, but they're like a little loop instead. Stretching it onto some elastic. We've got some flat elastic for you today, some little spacer beads. And so these are fun summer ideas. These are great. These are kind of make me think of like your festival bracelets. Great fun there. So good morning from Joanne. She says, good morning, Laura. Good morning, all. Dull overcast today in Coventry with the sun trying to shine through. These look very sparkly. They are. Look at the sparkle. How cute are these? And then we have Susan. He says, good morning, Laura and everyone. Well, good morning. It's so lovely to see you all today. So we do have some deals today that I'm going to go through with you. But basically, I'm going to take you over to the web page, and we can see exactly what we have got. So let's go on over and have a look at this. Okay, as always, we go over to totallybeads.co.uk. We're going to go into our video tutorials. I'm going to look for the project of today. Let me just close that. So we are looking at the Rivoli rainbow bracelets. Okay, so we'll click on that. We have the YouTube tutorial, which is what we're filming now. And then, of course, you have having a little look here. We've got Kitty's birthday treat. So you can see here we've got £5 off an order that is £25 or over, and you have £10 off your order if it is £40 or over. Now there are some codes I am going to look at in a moment. I think I'm going to my glasses on, but those codes are available underneath the actual video. So if you spend over £25, you will get £5 off. That does exclude postage. And if you spend over £40, you will get £10 off, again excluding postage. So this is a bit of a mix and match, and you can see here. So your individual square crystal Rivolis are 30p per piece, but you can get any 20 for £5. So you can put together a nice bundle. Now, you do not have to choose the same color. So you could choose 5 of each color and get those for £5. So 5 times, is it 5 fives of, so 4 different colors of 5 or 5 different colors of 4. You can work it out. 30p each, or you can buy any 20 for £5. Now you can mix up these lovely colors to create this lovely multicolored bracelet, or you can keep it all exactly the same. There's a huge range of colors available. Look, we're still going. Oh, I love that sunflower. How beautiful is that? And then, of course, we have the holders. Now, the holders themselves are also included in the any 20 for £5. So for 30p for each individual, so 60p a component effectively. So you could get 10 colors and 10 back-ends or holders for £5. And then you will be able to make your bracelet of choice. So again, you can choose however many you want to go onto your piece. You then have the option. So we've got all of those amazing Rivolis there. We then have our elastic flat 0.5, 10 meters of clear elastic. And we have some acrylic gold. These are just suggested, but you can get, wow, 2,500 pieces of your acrylic round gold beads for £2. You can get them in the gold, or you can get them in the silver, and they are £2 for 2,500. They are going to see you through for a very, very long time. So this is all of the components that you're going to need. Any 20 for £5. So you can either, I mean, I would probably be tempted to get like my 20 colors and then my 20 settings, and that's going to be your £10 for those. You've then got your flat elastic, your acrylic beads to match in your colorway, and of course you've got your settings all the way at the very bottom. I do also recommend adding to that a big-eyed needle. We all know I'm a fan of those needles. I do have my needle today. Those of you who watched my last live, I could not find my needles. I have replaced them. These are essential, so definitely have a look for the big-eyed needles. I do believe they are on here, so let's have a quick look. Big-eyed, I'm not sure if that's how we spell it. Needles. Oh, there we go. Perfect. If you look here, you've got your big eye needle, small or large. I've got a mixture. I definitely recommend grabbing a couple of these. They are 99p each, and they are essential for when you're doing projects like this. They make life so easy. So I would totally be adding probably one of each on, to be honest with you, of the big-eyed needles. They are a fantastic addition. So that for an extra couple of pounds. So going back into video tutorials and then going back down, there's our Rivoli rainbow bracelet. Don't forget the deal that we've got on at the moment. If you get £5 off if you spend over £25, not including your postage, and £10 off if you spend over £40, again, not including your postage. The codes are on there, but I just can't see them because they're quite small and I'm a little bit further away and I think I need new glasses. But I think it is, I can't see it. I will confirm it in a moment for you. Let me just see if it tells me. That's, I would never have seen it. So basically £25, you will get £5 off with the code TREAT and a 5. So TREAT 5. And if you spend £40 or over, you'll get £10 off with the code TREAT and 10. So I'll type it in here for you. So TREAT 5 and TREAT 10 for your discount. TREAT 5 is for if you spend £25 or over to get £5 off, and TREAT 10 is if you spend over £40, and then you will get your discount included. Okay, so that is the project. So let's go ahead and have a look at what we've got here. There are, of course, the earring findings. I didn't see them on here. Let me just see if they're on here. Let me just have a quick look. Let me see. I'm not sure if they are on there, but they should be on here somewhere. But we're going to focus on the bracelet in any event. I don't know where they are, so that's fine. They are available on the website. Just have a little look. Okie dokie. So I'm going to put these out of the way. Okie dokes. So a range of colours. I'm just going to have a little slurp of my coffee. I got a coffee warmer as part of my birthday present, which is currently sat in front of me, to try to keep my coffee warm because I'm notorious for leaving them to go cold. So I've got coffee warmer, and I've got 2 new Starbucks mugs. Those of you who know me know I love my Starbucks mugs. I now have a Glasgow and a Scotland one. I'm very, very happy about that. Okay, so bracelets. Now, obviously, when doing a stretchy bracelet, we've got the options of different sizes, so you can do them to be size specific. Let's have a quick look. So if I go 2, 4, 6, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. So there's like 18 on this particular bracelet. So you've got 18 of your crystals set with your little spacer beads in between. Now you could have them set condensed like this, or you could stage them out with maybe 3 of the spacer beads. So you can definitely have a bit of fun with these. Good morning, Carol. How are you today? I hope all is good. Joanne says she loves the blue. Honestly, the colours that we've got here are absolutely stunning. I've tried to pick like a little selection of them out for you, just to kind of see. I've got a little selection of them. But we've got, look at this gorgeous kind of dusky rose. I think it's like a really lovely, I think that's probably showing it to the best. Look at these when the light hits it. How stunning are they? Really, really gorgeous. So let's have a look at how we're going to set these into our settings. So you can see I've got one here that's been kind of individually set. Now these settings. Good morning, Shirley. How are you today? We do have the settings in the silver and in the gold. So I've got a couple of my golds here, and a couple of my silvers. So definitely have a little look at your color choices, mixing and matching. Choose the color base to go with the color Rivoli, and just remember that, as I said, you can of course mix and match these up however you want to. Just trying to get a little selection of the colors out for you just to show you. Oh, that is it's not coming across. Such a gorgeous classic purpley tone here. It's coming across a bit more bluey on my screen at least, but it's a real gorgeous kind of amethyst, almost a iolite kind of color. You know, that purpley blue, really gorgeous. You can see there we kind of have that purple tone, but underneath you have that blue sparkle, really stunning. Good morning, Anna. How are you today? Oh, sparkles. You're absolutely right, sparkles. Lots of sparkles. So we were just saying, for those of you that just joined a little bit later, I will go back to the website for you. But basically, these are your, I'm just going to get my specifics back up. So you have, I think they were 10 mil. So let me just go back to them. Just going back in, there we are. Where are we? This is your Rivoli rainbow bracelet. So you have your square crystal Rivoli. So these are slight like rounded squares, which I absolutely love that kind of rounded square look. I think it's gorgeous. Then you have your elastic, and you will get your flat elastic, 10 meters of clear flat elastic 0.5, and that's £1 for that. I mean, that's going to see you for so long. You have your acrylic beads, you have your range of different colors, and of course you have your settings to go with it, your holders to go with it. And again, they are 10 mil, and you get one piece, so you can put together basically 20 pieces, whether these are 30p a unit, or you can put together 20, whether it be 10 colors and 10 settings, or whether it's you choose to do 20 colors and then 20 settings for £10. But they'll combine down to a price of £5 for 20 altogether. Okay, so let's have a little look. So again, gorgeous selection. I mean, we've got a gorgeous smoky color here. We've got like a teal. We've got a black. There's just too many for me to kind of. Oh, did we say blue? Let me see if I've got a blue. I've got to have a blue. Ooh, this is pretty. I kind of want to do. Look at that gorgeous tone. It's making me feel like ocean vibes here. Look at those three as a color combination. Isn't that just stunning? So you have lots of opportunity here. So let's have a little look at how we're going to go ahead about approaching this into a project design. So I have got some of the gold acrylic beads here. Now these are going to go everywhere. If you're anything like me, put them in something safe. I'm going to put them in one of these little heart Tupperware boxes. Kitty gave me these when I went to visit her last, and I thought they were the cutest little things, and they are great. So I'm going to just put some of these in here so they can't go anywhere. Okay, so I've got my beads ready. I'm actually going to use the lid to put some of my Rivolis onto so I don't lose them. This. There we go. So we've got our colours, and then of course it's just about plotting your design. So let's look at how we're going to go, and we're going to do a bracelet. So if we're going to do a bracelet, like I said, I counted 18 on this particular one, which is the largest of them. So let's just pop this on. So there we have this gorgeous, and we can put this into colours, any kind of colorway that we want, sections if you want to. This is a great example of sort of all of your colors actually set on here. You've got your blues, you've got your gorgeous kind of like, oh look at that, like that lovely smoky grey blue here, your greens, your sunflower, gorgeous. You've got your reds, you've got the purple. This is a proper true purple just here. Then you've got your background. Then if we look over here, we've got sort of like one of each. How fantastic is that? And then of course over here we've got that again. Or I wonder if it's because the backing, that is a slightly different tone. Yeah, so there are your colours. So again, how you choose to do this up to you. This has been done in freeze, colours of freeze, as you can see here. So we could choose just free sort of colours. And again, whether you go for your silver or your gold, I'm actually going to go for the gold just because I think it's going to be more easier for you to see visually. And also, of course, I do have the gold spacer beads. So I'm going to pop the silver back into here. I'm going to see what we've got here to work with. So I've gotten a little bit carried away by the look of it. No surprise there. They could be used for a necklace with chain. Oh my goodness, Anna, that is a gorgeous idea. So yeah, 100%. So you don't need to put this onto your elastic. Obviously, we've said this is something that you could do as a combinable kit. You can put these pieces together, but absolutely love the idea of that. So what I would want to do is kind of almost have like a little section of sparkles at the front and then maybe just some chain either side, or you could thread some of these on so that you've actually got your necklace. This is almost like a bead. This would then give that beaded ball chain kind of effect, and then of course you could have your necklace. What a gorgeous design idea. Love that. I definitely think I need to try that. So I'm going to go ahead and take these pieces. So I've already got one green piece here, so I'm going to go ahead and see if I did pick out any more of that one, or did I just randomly? Here we are. So we're going to 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to take these and my section of my unit here. So I'll just bring this down a little bit so we can see the component. So if you take your component and you go to put your bead in, it's not going to instantly sit how you want it to, okay? So what I tend to do is using my pliers, just going to grab some little pliers. What I will do is, now this is a thinner metal, so we do need to go a little bit careful with this. You will see also that these have drill holes, and it has 2. When it focuses, hopefully you'll be able to see this. See, it has 2 drill holes, one here and one here. So we can use that when it comes to bringing this all together. Okay, so what I tend to do is use my plier. Oh, that was your idea as well, Anna. Yeah, that's a lovely idea. So I'm going to take my pliers and just very gently just sort of come towards the top of that little prong and just very gently bend this outwards, very gently, like the tiniest movement. And all I'm doing is basically just opening them out a little bit so that I will be able to place my crystal in. So just barely touching it. But can you see how now it's just very slightly tipping out? Okay. Now you could use your fingers, but the risk with that is that you can get a little bit heavy-handed and risk breaking or pushing them too far out. Can you see now how they're kind of just all very slightly bending outwards? And again, 2 options here. You could either turn your Rivoli over and place this over to pick it up, and it should sit in there. It's kind of probably the easiest way, she says, and messes it up. Or of course, you could place it like this and just drop that Rivoli in. It just takes a steady hand. And there we go. Okay, and I kind of placing it so that the corners are in between the prongs. Can you see? Now what you want to do when setting the prongs is I'm holding it steady with my finger and my thumb so that is level and steady, and you want to make sure it is level before you start setting that in. You want to make sure that it hasn't tipped unbalanced. And what you want to do is, I tend to just use my finger very gently to push that prong, and I'm going to go to the opposite one. So at the moment I've pushed the prong just here, so I'm going to go over to this one and very gently just push. We're going to tighten this in a moment, but I'm just starting to stabilize it. So I have just very gently with my hand just pushed those 2 opposite ones over. And I'm going to do the same on these two. So holding it steady with my hand again, I'm just going very gently, just barely touch, just push that with my finger, turn it around and do the same again. So now that has started to set it, I can now do a little check and make sure it's sitting balanced. See that it's not gone tipped too far in any direction. And again, keeping my thumb, pushing that down to really make sure that that is as it should be. I'm just going to use my pliers and I'm going to close them. So I'm actually using them closed, and I'm just going to gently push that prong down. So do you see I just gently folded that prong over, and I still want to go back over to that opposite side, and I'm going to push that prong over. That prong is now sitting nice and snug. Okay. And then I want to do the same on the other two. See how they're slightly raised, whereas the other two are nice and snug. So with the other two, again, I'm still putting pressure on my finger and my thumb to make sure it's sitting nicely in that setting. And I'm just pushing. Now, pliers are being held shut, just used to push, gently push that metal over that stone. Okay. And there you have your set Rivoli. Now you can, of course, if you wanted to, just kind of make sure it's set. That is nice and set. I tend to just use my hand and bend that over. Okay, so Shirley says you can use an eraser on the end of a new pencil to push the prongs down. Ooh, that is a good idea, Shirley. Always open to ideas. Excuse me while I just kind of lean. I'm going to grab. So I have a pencil here with an eraser. We in the UK don't, we refer to it as different. And have I got just a standard pencil with a standard round eraser? I've got loads. So yeah, that's a really good idea. Thank you, Shirley. Let's give that a try. I just, again, it's all about minimizing any kind of damage to the stone or setting. So yeah, really good idea there. Thanks, Shirley. I appreciate that. So that is setting number 1. When it focuses. Come on. She is being a bit dramatic today. Come on. I know it's blurry. Right. Sort it out, camera. Thank you. Right, so we've got 1 and we've got 2. So move that to the side, and I'm going to repeat with the third. So like I said, you could go in with your hand and push them out. I don't particularly want to do that. So I'm going to just come in very gently with my pliers. It is the most tiniest of motions. You see it barely moving my hand. And then I'm just going to pop that in. Oops. Pop that in to place. And then hold that nice and steady with my thumb. And as I said, I'm going to, let's try the pencil trick. So just pushing on one side and then go into the opposite side. Now, the reason we go to opposite side is because the stone can shift when you set that first prong. So if I went from around clockwise, I could find when I get to the final prong that it's gone off balance, or that it's not level. So by going opposite to opposite, it's just helping to stabilize it. And then same on this side, all the way over, and on this side. So it's kind of just needs that final finish. So again, we'll come in and we'll just push that down. And if I've got the best eraser on here, there we have it. Works great. Thank you, Shirley. So there's 1, 2, and 3. So let's choose another color. I'm just seeing if I've got like your standard. I know I have 1,000 of your traditional pencils with rubbers. I mean, I've got stacks. I mean, just to show you. I mean, this is just one of many of my storage just for your amusement. This is just one of my many sort of storages. I kind of put random things in. So see, pencil with a round eraser. You know I'd have one. This is like one of 3 that are just on this shelf. We all know I have a slight problem with stationery, and there you go. Stationery and basically arts and crafts. Right, let's switch back. So I've got a round, your more traditional type one. This is your flatter one because this is a just a certain type of pencil, and this is your more traditional round. So let's go in with another color. I feel, ooh, let's try this beautiful kind of purple tone. So again, coming in, folding out, and then all the way, popping this in. I'm just thinking as well of the gorgeous earrings these could make if you kind of threaded them. So don't rush this, because if you rush it, you're gonna unbalance it, which is almost what I've done there. Also, this is a good opportunity to show you that if you do go in a little bit quick, it's not working, you can catch it and then reset. Obviously go careful, because you don't want to do too much adjusting to these prongs, because it is a finer metal, but you can kind of catch it before you set them all in. Pop that back in and do not rush. The key was I started to rush, and that's where it was going. So just checking everything. Did you go pencil? There we are. And then turn that around. Oh, I know why it's gone. Because I've got it on the, I want the prongs to be in. Right. So when you're using the square one, again, just think about how you're setting this into the actual setting, because I want those prongs to be on the, not on the points of it. So what was happening there was the corners were going into where the prongs were, and I don't want that. I don't want the corners to go into the prongs. I want the corners to go in between that space, and that's where it was going wrong. And that's the good thing about this, is you can see, you can catch it, and you can fix it. There we go. That's better. There we are. Now I can go back to setting that in. And the thing is, I could feel that it wasn't sitting right. I could feel that there wasn't something right with the way it was setting. So, that is the good thing about this. You can sort of see it and you can feel it if it's not going to plan. Okay, and then just setting that all in nice and finished. I do like this idea, Shirley. Thank you very much. It would have occurred to me to have used a pencil with a rubber eraser. Sorry, it's the Brit in me. There we go. So the reason that one gave me a bit of grief was because I wasn't paying full attention, and I was putting the corners of the squares in where the prongs were. So that is why that was going in that direction. So easy to do. And then, so just take that second to open it out, pop in your Rivoli, making sure that your your corners are not here. Hold that nice and steady, coming in and push, rotate that around, in and push, rotate it around, rotate it around. And then just take that moment just to really stabilize and secure it. And there you have, and you see how quick and easy these are building. Rachel says, I have the old stoneware marmalade jam pots from the late 1800s, nearly 1900s, collected for various places I use for my art storage. Amazing. I can't, that's fantastic. I'm a kind of collecting, I kind of collect coffee jars. Exhibit A, a coffee jar. This, I'm sorry, I'm switching again, but this is a coffee. This was like a special limited edition design on a coffee jar. And look how pretty it is. I didn't do that art around it. This was all part of the coffee jar. My mother and father-in-law were like, do you want this? And I was like, yes, please. So that now stores my pretty sparkly beads. And then the other one, I think you've all seen me show this one before, is again another coffee jar that I've actually just painted with a little bit of painted it. What have I painted it on the inside? I think I painted it on the inside. So I painted it on the inside, and that again is my little Odyssey jar. So yeah, I completely get that. That's fantastic. Okay, so we've got these. So we're just going to keep going with these colours. So see if I've got another purple. Okay, purple. Ooh, is this the same colour? So it's design, what you do once you've got these designs made really is up to you. So I'm just going around and around. We've already got sort of 6 made, so you can see how quickly you can do this. Okay, so place it into place. Oops. The key is not to rush this. It is a simple design, but if you rush it, you will make it more, it will take twice as long if you rush it than if you actually just took your time adding each one in. Okay, so you can reset it if you need to. So the beauty of just kind of placing it in with that first sort of fold of the prongs is it gives you potential to reset it if you do go a little bit wrong. So going back in, I'm going to push, turn it around and push, turn it around and push, turn it around and push. And then once you're happy, you can of course then go ahead and lock those prongs into place. And there you have another unit. So we currently have these. See, I love the idea of these just kind of, maybe if you had 3, just dropping down maybe some thin wire or even your elastic. We could actually you could kind of go across and then back up, so we could do that. Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it? Camille says all crafters collect things. Anything that might be useful for Ron later on. 100%. I mean, come on, I'm using a little heart Tupperware box, and how cool is this? Yeah, no, you're 100% right. We crafters do like to collect our stashes, don't we? I feel like maybe this would be quite pretty, this lovely rose. So let's pop some of these roses in. So again, I'm going to come in, I'm going to gently open out this setting and then pop it in place. Okay, making sure you're happy. And again, you could also just kind of place it down if you didn't feel comfortable sort of holding it, and then just kind of gently. Another little tip might be to maybe use some blue tack. If you've got a bit of blue tack, you could maybe place the setting onto the blue tack, and that will give you a bit more, stop it from moving about so much. So that's a potential idea as well, just to keep it stable. I think it's just about working with how it works best for you. But again, just popping that in. I personally find it easier to hold it with my in between my thumb and finger, because I just feel I've got more control and I can adjust it if I need to. So for me, I prefer to do it this way, but as we all know, I'm always very keen on saying, you know, everyone works differently. And bring that around and around and around and around, and then we have that gorgeous rose colour. So far we've got 9. Okay. I'm just going to do the last 3 of these. And then obviously we can look at how you would set it into your bracelet. Okay. One more. I mean, the advantage if you were using a pencil with an eraser is you could adjust it if you needed to, and you know you're not actually going to damage either the Rivoli or the setting. Now, I just want to show you this one because, again, I've rushed it. So, again, this is an example of something that is simple. It's kind of, if it focuses for me, it's gonna find it. It's being very dramatic today, my camera, but hopefully you can see there it's higher on one side than the other. See, it's tipping down here, so it's very slightly tipped up. If that happens, you can of course come in and you should be able to very gently lift back out those prongs very carefully. So even if you set it and then you look at it and you think, oh, it's slightly wonky, you can go in and you can readjust it and take it back out and start again. So, you know, it's not the end of, and again, I will be very stress again that you don't want to keep opening and closing these prongs too much if you can avoid it, because if you do, they will eventually they're going to weaken. They are a thinner piece of metal, so that is something that can happen, but just to be aware. But if you do it once, it's going to be fine. But just so you know, if you do set it, you've gotten distracted, or you just look and go, oh, actually that is a bit out of line, it takes 2 seconds to fix that back in, and now that is as it should be. And that's all 3. Oh no, we've got one more to do, and then we can look at how we would put this into a setting. So last one, like I said, you can just sit down, and I know I often say this, but again, I think this is quite a nice thing to be seen crafting on whilst you're on a if you're running your own market stall or, you know, craft stall, just because it shows that you're making it, like you are putting that color combination together, you are creating that setting. Yes, it's pre-made for you, but you're still making this piece come together, and I think that's quite, you know, quite an important thing to get across, that even though these are, yes, they're pre-made settings, but you're still choosing that color combination, you're still setting that crystal into it, you're still doing that element of work, you're still making sure it's level. You know, all of these things need to be considered. Okie dokie. So we have got, I feel like I'm going to go like this. Yes, there we go. So there's your little pattern. Okay, so I'll go back to my big-eyed needle. So the big-eyed needles will open out. Let me just get a slightly less humongous one. Okay, so the big-eyed needles. Now you could do two for one. So on a project like this might be quite good to do 2 pieces at once. You've got your flat elastic, which I'm just going to kind of stretch out. So I'm going to cut 2 sections. I'm going to go, I mean, you've got 10 meters, so you can be quite sparing with this. Obviously, I like to have a little bit more than I maybe need to allow just for your working space, really. Come on in, there we go. Come on. There. So if you were doing a bracelet, like a double strung bracelet, you could at this point maybe do 2 needles, okay? And these big-eyed needles are fab because you just find like the middle of them and they are like a whole needle. You pop in your flat elastic, she says. There we go. Are you in? Yeah, there you are. Give yourself a little bit of a tail. Be aware, maybe do a knot at the end if you want to, so you don't want anything to sort of come off, because if you allow extra elastic, then that shouldn't go anywhere. Just a little knot. And then however you want your pattern to start. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to pick up one of these beads, and then I'm going to go just simply through. And this is the beauty of, look at that, how easy is that because of that bead, that needle. So I think they have been added now. I'm going to go and have another look in a moment for you. But you're coming on your pattern. Remember to go straight down. You don't want to go through this way. You want to go straight down. Now you could either do one side at once and then come back and do the other side. I've shown a double-stranded bracelet before. I tend to do one side, and then I found it easier to just run the elastic through and connect it all. But you might want to do, oh, these little beads are jumpy. You know, again, I always encourage to do this however suits you. Come on. There we are, straight through. So these needles are going to make your life a lot easier. The flat elastic, fantastic. For me, I love a flat elastic because it just makes life easy. Okay, keep going. And through. You can see already we've got that pattern, and again, look at that. You imagine that. You're absolutely right. Was it Anna with the necklace? Look at that and that movement. So just because they're double drilled, by the way, doesn't mean you have to use both those drill holes. I mean, I think that's really pretty on its own as a necklace, and then you could add on your beads either side. So that could be done with tiger tail or beading thread, and in which case, again, you can still use your big-eyed needle to put tiger tail through it and then add chain or your beads, and that would be a really pretty necklace. You do not have to use both the drill holes. Just because it is double drilled doesn't mean you have to use it, and nobody will know. It's okay. And you'd have that lovely movement then because of it being top drilled. So that is another option for you. So I'm actually going to just do that just to show you, because I also want to do like a little potential earring design. So you could do that, and then you would just go ahead, and as always, when you're doing your bracelet, we'll talk about the stretch, the knot. I could now take out my needle, or I could go in with the second needle and then just go over to another piece of elastic. Remember, when you're using your elastic, to just give that elastic a pull to take that elasticity out of it a little bit, which I know sounds crazy, but it just helps. And then we can just go ahead and add in this one here. Oops. And then we can just run this through the other side. So I've already popped a bead on previously, so now I can just bring this through and then just pop it through. There we go. run it through the back if it comes easier. However it works. Bead. Straight through. Bead. So Sheila said, question, is there a reason why you use flat elastic in some projects and round in others? Yeah, that's a good question. There is. I tend to use flat elastic on a project like this because I know that I would struggle to feed round elastic through these beads, like through these drill holes. Because can you imagine trying to put elastic to go through here and then through the other side? So I just find that with flat elastic, it's more difficult. It's slightly thicker, it tends to be slightly thicker. So it then is difficult, whereas this is doubles up. So this is going through doubled, and it's not a problem going all the way through and through. Like, see how that double is going through? If it was a round elastic, it would struggle to go through, and also it'd be more difficult to it would just be more difficult to kind of sort of control it. So it's not on everything. So if I was just doing a plain stretchy bracelet with maybe a nice focal bead, yep, I would just stick to doing the round. I think it suits the project. But for me, I think this, and it gives it a little bit more fluidity sometimes. So we've got this on here. And just see, it just means that I've got that control. But that's pretty wide. And also when it is flat elastic, the knot can disappear a bit easier into the settings, whereas when it's the round elastic, it's a little bit more solid. But that is really the only reason. You do not have to use flat elastic. You can 100% use round elastic, and it is fine as well. I just feel like, for me, if I'm doing a project like this, where especially more so when I'm doing the double project, I prefer the flat elastic. I just feel that it's just a bit easier to work that project up. Hopefully that helps. But yeah, you can use, there's no rules. Okay, so this is the tiniest one, but I'm going to just go ahead and show you. I've got them all on there. I'm then going to go ahead. I'm going to take my knot, bring it around, and this is just on one at the moment, and really bring that out for a stretch. And then I want to do, that one's in my way, get out of my way. And this is the key to a good stretchy bracelet or elastic, is I'm going to do my knot. So I just brought that around. I haven't let go yet. This is the same elastic. I'm going to bring it back through the loop that I've got. So I've got this circle here. So I've got effectively what will be a surgeon's knot, I believe. Make sure that that sneaky elastic there doesn't get involved. This is why normally I probably would do one side then the other, but it works this way as well. And then bring that nice and tight. I'm now going to go over to the other side and repeat on the other side. So bring that across. So the first thing you can do is do that first normal knot. So bring it across, just tie that into a knot, stretch out that elastic. And now I'm going to, using my hand, I'm right hand dominant, so I brought this over my left hand. I'm opening out that loop and I'm just grabbing the elastic. And then I'm going to go back into that loop and grab that elastic again. So you have that kind of twist. And then you bring that down. And that should be your knots done. Now the key as well to know if it's going to work or not is when you open it, like so, that it stays together, basically. Because if you haven't done the correct knot, that knot will come undone. Okay, this would be a really cute serviette napkin holder. I think that would be really sweet. You could do little mini napkin holders. Imagine if you've got like a wedding or something like that to go to, or you're getting married. The other thing I would do is I actually do that sort of surgeon knot twice. So I'll do it again very quickly, just for my own peace of mind. And then I can see that that knot's in place. And I'm going to just snip. Now, some people say about whether they use glue or whether you use, do I use glue? Oops, that was wrong. Do you use glue or nail polish? You can put a dab of clear nail polish on. Do not put super glue on, because super glue can go brittle and make the make the elastic brittle. So I tend not to put super glue or any type of glue, and I just put 1 and then 2 and pull. You could put a dab of clear nail polish. I don't really feel there's much of a need. And then, because this is flat, this could, if I wiggled it, hopefully go over, and those ends could get sort of go into the setting. It depends, doesn't always work, but they can. There you go. See how that end? And that's another reason that I would do the flat elastic. So I find that the ends will go into a smaller setting easier than others. So hopefully that answered that question for you. See, I can just bring that into there now, and there's no, you can't see where those ends are. It's nice and finished, and I actually think that's a really cute serviette holder, napkin holder. How pretty is that? Mina says, I was on Jewelry Maker YouTube and found 2 of your shows about chainmail. Ah, thank you, Mina. Yeah, I did quite a lot on there, so always have a little look. But I am also bringing those designs and ideas to Totally Beads as well. So yeah, keep an eye out. Okay, so you can see I've got that one done, and that is all you need to do. And very quickly, just because I'm curious myself, I wanted to see how, if I wanted to do this as an earring, I would be tempted to go, I would kind of want to go down. Let's add on let's go for a silver, and then add on a bead, and then go for the amethyst, and add on a bead. So I think that there's a lot of potential with these. Remember, if you've got the Treat 5 and the Treat 10 codes, I have put them into the chat. Treat 5 and Treat 10. Spend over £25 and you will get £5 off with the code Treat 5. Spend over £40 and you will get £10 off with the code Treat 10. Just remember as well, please, that does not include your postage, and it is until the 30th of June. The offer is on until Monday. So remember, with these Rivolis, you can get basically 20 components, whether it be 10 colors and 10 settings, or whether it's 20 colors. You've already got your different idea for the settings. It's completely up to you. There we have the earring idea, and I would then just be tempted to maybe put some beads on. How pretty would that be as earrings? Because you've got your little clear elastic at the end there, and then I would put maybe a bead on when it focuses. There we go. So you have that potential earring idea as well. So lots of ideas. Go check out the website. Remember, as I said, £20 for 20 units for £5. Don't forget those deals. Yeah, Mina, just send me a message. I'll have a little look. I'm always looking for ideas as well for these lives, so definitely let me know. But yeah, there you go. I hope you've enjoyed this project. It's great fun. Serviette holder, earrings, bracelet, necklace, so many ideas, so much fun and potential. Definitely make sure you go and check it out. I definitely would recommend doing the getting the flat elastic for these, and of course those big-eyed needles. I hope you have a lot of fun with this. Please share, tag me in your makes, and of course Totally Beads. I won't see you next week. It will be Kitty. You of course have Natalie on the Monday and the Wednesday, and I will be back, and I will see you in July. That's crazy. Anyway, enjoy your weekend, everybody. Enjoy the sun, and I'll see you all soon. Thanks as always.